Tuchel, that's 3 games, that's 3 clean sheets, 2 wins. That's a good start to life in the Premier League for him.
Definitely, he'd be mighty pleased with that. I think he's seeing his players. Obviously, they're doing their auditions live through the 90 minutes, and I think he'll be pleased with what he's seeing. I think he's seeing players rotating different positions. Can they handle it? We spoke beforehand about tactically having different shapes, different offerings, and the players have adjusted very, very well under him. So I think the players will be happy, and most importantly, he will be too.
You like what you saw from Chelsea?
I thought it was excellent tonight. First half, dominated possession, game plan, in possession, out of possession, players taking on tactics. You couldn't write the script with the 3 players that scored in these games under his early tenure that have been the 3 players that didn't see game time with Frank. But it's looking optimistic. As a Chelsea fan, they've got to be watching thinking, you know, this could be a turning point, get back on track and start chasing top 4.
Jermaine. Angry Jermaine at half-time. What sort of Jermaine Genius have we got at full-time?
I'm still not happy. I don't think that just because you decide to run around a bit more in the second half or press high, you know, these things, not so much the pressing high, but the running around and the energy is just, that's a standard part of being a football player. There was a change and there was a shift, but you know, we're talking about a team here that at one point was kind of talking about challenging for a title. Okay, then now that's been shifted back into, can they get into a top 4 position to the Champions League? You don't just get into the top 4 or, you know, anywhere close to a title by just running around. You've got to have quality, and you've got to show that quality and impose yourself on games. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure, you know, Jose will say he's seen an improvement in the second half because there was much more energy, but I still didn't see the quality or really endeavour. I never really saw that goal coming. Even that late chance of Vinicius, he should have stuck away. There was nothing more than that, really, Rio.
It was like an aimless performance. There was nothing about it. There was no personality. And it seems that it's easy to say this, but Kane doesn't play. The personality of this team is drained straight out of the team. No confidence, no character, no leader. There's nobody driving that team. And whether that comes from just the players or is it the management that have to push that into the team, I think it's a combination of both, and it just doesn't seem to be happening. And they're a team, we saw them against Brighton. Brighton looked like a team that would go for Champions League football, and they were a team just trying to stay out of the relegation zone. If you looked at it without actually knowing it was Spurs and Brighton, and where would they be in the league? And it's worrying for me. Listen, they're not far off Champions League in terms of points, but the way that they're performing at the moment, the last couple of games, would be a worry for me.
Yeah, there'd be Spurs fans watching this tonight and screaming at TV saying, "We lost." You know, passing on responsibility. What are we doing? What are we doing out of possession? What are we doing in possession? Don't know. Like, how are we going to score? How are we going to attack? No ethos of going up. I think where it was coming from, when it was going up to Kane and into Son, I think that was still off the cuff in a way because Kane was coming short because he wasn't getting the ball.
That's relying on individuals. Yeah. That's what it's not. That doesn't strike me as being like a team philosophy. That's more like just get the ball to them two and they'll do it, and we'll stay sure at the back here. That's what will be the concern for me as well.
It just seems so reactive, doesn't it? You know, when no options on the ball, when it's a sorry state.
Well, I'm not sure how many hundreds of appearances you 3 made in the Premier League, but I sit here with you 3 this evening, and all 3 of you pretty much confused by the approach of Tottenham tonight. Hopefully, we'll hear from Jose Mourinho in a moment, and he will explain exactly what he asked of his players and whether they carried out what he wanted or whether they just simply couldn't. We'll find out very shortly. And for all that, though, Chelsea only with 2 shots on target in this game. One of them, though, won it for them. We'll also hear from Thomas Tuchel after the break. Yeah, but it's the game that matters for them, and in the centre of the park making things happen for them tonight was Mason Mount. Let's get the reaction from him. He's with Des Kelly.
Mason, was that a deserved win? You had pretty much good control in the majority of the game.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of control in the first half. I mean, we should have scored more in the game. I had a couple chances. We had a couple other chances where we should be way more clinical in front of goal, and that's something that we need to work on, me, myself as well. But no, I think we had good possession throughout the game. It's always tough to come here and control it throughout because they go forward, they push for the goal. They knew there was 1-0 down at the end, so they're trying to get an equaliser. So it always makes it tough to kind of have that control throughout. But no, I thought we played very well.
Yeah, but tactically, it looked like he had the edge from the start. You know, overloads, wing backs pushing on. That was causing Spurs a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's what we kind of looked at before. It's the style the manager wants us to play, and it's been working well. So yeah, it's something that we need to keep working at. It's new. It's different for some of us players, especially me today, maybe playing a bit as a kind of false 9 and then dropping into the 10 and helping the midfield out. So we're all learning, but yeah, it's obviously going well so far.
And Thomas is going to keep changing this system. He said before the game he's going to try different tactics, different people in different places.
Yeah, and that's obviously a positive for us, and it makes it difficult for any team we play against. They don't know what we're going to come with. So yeah, we're obviously working on it day in, day out in training, different formations, different tactics, and yeah, we're just focused on trying to keep getting better and better and getting them wins.
And maybe just a bit more killer instinct, is that what he's going to say to you?
Yeah.
I saw you go down the tunnel with him. What was the discussion there?
No, I just said that I should have had 1 or 2 definitely, and we spoke about it at half time as well. Just be clinical and go with a purpose and want to score. I mean, I didn't have my shooting boots on today, so something that I'll work on during the week, and it's a bit different. I've been playing a bit deeper, so for being up in the box a bit more, I need to work on that finishing. So hopefully it can come.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Love that, a young man expecting better of himself all the time. Look, the teams that we enjoy watching in the Premier League are those with a clear plan, you know, the Leicesters and Brightons and Evertons. What plan do you now really see emerging under Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea?
Well, a fluid plan, you know, defensively looks solid. 2 midfielders getting on the ball, looking forward. A fluid, front 3 that come inside, go long, come short. Full-backs that overlap. You know, there's a plan there. In the short space of time that they've been working on, 10 days, 11 days, it's becoming fruitful already.
I think that's it's one of those situations where I feel like they were doing that for Frank. You know, I don't think that Frank wasn't getting that out of them. I think the results went against Frank, and you know, I think the start that Thomas Tuchel had has been great. I think it's so easy to sit here at times when new managers come in and be like, oh, you know, it's brilliant, it's great to watch. Yeah, it's enjoyable, but that is what happens in management. You get a bounce. There's an effect when a new manager comes in. He's got experience, Thomas Tuchel, and he's done well in most places he's been. But obviously at Chelsea, in the Premier League, the level of, you know, that is expected, we're going to see in terms of that level of consistency. If tonight's anything to go by, then there's a lot for Chelsea fans to be excited about. I personally still think if they don't bring in a world-class striker, they'll still be short of where he needs to be to keep his job for a long period of time.
Yeah, I agree. You can't judge him now. He'll be judged in months to come. I think he's come in. I think, like JJ just said, there is a natural bounce that you get. There's an effect, an immediate effect you get out of players when a new manager comes in. People want to show themselves, present themselves in the best light possible, and they're doing that right now. But it's about sustaining that and continuing it.
There was some fear, wasn't there, that the young players under Frank were thriving. He supported them. He was brilliant with them. Would the same thing happen under Thomas Tuchel? And then we were all worried when Mason Mount didn't start the first game. But since then, he's come back in and tonight he excelled.
He's been superb, fully deserved man of the match. His movement, and what I like about him is every time he gets the ball, it's on a half turn or he's looking forward. He doesn't try to just play it safe. His link-up play and his intuition with the other Werner and Callum Hudson-Odoi, you can see him there, just gets it wide. Can I get back on the ball, make things happen? You know, he just keeps probing, doesn't he?
It'd be a nightmare to play against. Steve, you both played midfield. I think he's someone who you'd go into a game and think, oh, he's going to be hard work to play against him because he's always on the move. He plays away from players. You don't very rarely see him get the ball with someone touch tight to him because he's so aware of space. His spatial awareness on the pitch is fantastic. Here, again, all these clips you're seeing, he's not marked. Because that's not about players not marking him, it's about him staying away from people and freeing himself to then create positions like this to create chances to score goals. And what I loved about his interview is there's a humbleness to him. There's I need to work. I know I need to work. And then there you see the touches that he had all over the park. Elusive.
It's going to be interesting to see how Thomas Tuchel sees him. We spoke about it at the start of the show and that adaptability. He's already alluded to the fact that he's having to play a bit higher up the pitch. You know, maybe he sees him more in like a Marco Reus type role, you know, that kind of player that plays higher up but wants more goals, who can be creative, who can, you know, be more of a provider as well. So it's going to be an interesting period for people like Mason Mount. Exciting, but you know he's adapting his game, and obviously he's a player that wants to work hard and get better. So I think he'll thrive.
I can't believe he gets any stick. It baffles me. We're sitting talking about it during the game. I don't understand where all this comes from around him. I mean, I was lucky enough to go to the training ground and speak to him and see Frank, and Frank was like, he excites me, this kid. Yeah. Whether he's one of the young kids and people think I'm playing him.
What do you think it is? Why do you think it is? What? Is it not because we just love to criticise people?
I don't know.
I think it's because we're
I can't
obsessed
put
with
my finger on it.
stats. Everyone's obsessed with stats on social media.
But he's created the most chances.
But every now and again, if you just fall off it for 1 or 2 games, I think he's just one of those players that, an English player as well. I think people like to throw stones at. It's hard to.
Haven't we also lost the art of the nuance as well in the modern world? There's, we just either it's like heaven or hell, it's black or white, good or bad. There's no middle ground, is there? There's no allowance for people having a bad game.
He's nowhere near the worst player at Chelsea. He's created the most chances, most creative player at Chelsea this year, but still gets stick. It baffles me.
Welcome to the modern world. I tell you what, let's hear from the Chelsea boss. Thomas Tuchel is with Des Kelly.
Thomas, congratulations, a London derby win. Another step forward as well. What did you make of this display?
Yeah, for sure, because every experience we make is a step forward if we are open to learn from it. And if there are moments where we could, there were moments, especially in the first half, for long, maybe the whole first half, we could totally control the game, very up high the pitch. Then in second half we had some easy ball losses, lost a little bit of maybe the confidence because of the ball losses. Then there were moments where we could escape the pressure and had fast attacks, but we could not finish. So by minute we lost a little bit like ball possession, but we never lost the belief, we never lost the structure and the intensity to defend. And in football there are many ways to have a good performance, and if it's necessary to suffer, you have to be ready to suffer, and that's what I'm very happy about.
The numbers were almost 70% possession in the first half.
Yeah.
So do you have expected, you got the penalty, would you have liked to have got more goals, a bit more killer instinct?
Yeah, a bit more killer instinct, a bit more aggressive, a bit more aggressive in the box towards the goal. A bit more killer instinct would have been nice, because would have been possible to maybe decide the goal so like in the first half, but also in the first 15 minutes of second half, and maybe during the whole match there were chances where we lack a bit of determination in the box and the last touch. But it's like this. It's the best if we have something to improve, and we still win, and it was a big win in a away game. And this is very, very good. I'm very happy.
And were you pleased with the way the players adapted to a slightly different tactical system? These are the things you're going to keep trying for the next few weeks.
Yes, and I'm happy, and I'm not only happy. It's not only about tactics. It's like how we play it. It's not only what we play structure-wise. It's how we live it, and they live it 100% and full power and full intensity and full on. And this is the most important. And in my opinion, we never lost the belief and the faith and the courage to press up high. We never lost. We never got too passive, too deep in the field. We pushed. We had many one-on-ones to isolate the opponent and not give options. And for that, you have to be brave. And we were brave, and we were the winners in the end. And this is deserved and feels great.
Thank you, Thomas.